To be in first place is there. Richard Trottier, first-year referee, 32 years old, working with Dan McCourt and Brian Murphy, a couple of veteran linesmen. Face-off one, shot saved. Terreri, rebound, flipped away. They've got that high-scoring line out there. Brenda Moore and Hull, in particular, on this line, along with Adam Oates. This line can pump the puck. The face-off dumps it in against the boards. The Devils have a checking line on them with Maley, Dougie Brown out there, along with Aaron Broughton. If they're going to work against this line tonight, they are going to have their work cut out for them. The league's leading goal scorer, Brett Hull, brings it in. It's onside. Hull pushing away. Driver stood him up. And the puck is cleared to center. Gordy Roberts, the veteran defenseman out there. That's Adam Oates. Driver knocked it away. Got it over to Maley. Maley looking for some help to Broughton. Broughton over. Driver in the shot. And it was blocked by Gordy Roberts. Played back by Driver. Driver was on the off-wing side for the shot that time. Couldn't quite get turned around on it. Back to Broughton. Broughton in. Broughton tried to pass it. Brendamore got a hold of him, the rookie. That will be cleared out. And opens up with a lot of skating here in the opening minute of this game.
The St. Louis not played since Wednesday. They played the Chicago Blackhawks. They're making a 3-game road trip. The Devils played last night.
Muller tied up. Muller still had it. Knocked away. Cavallini. Penalty coming up. Right there on the whistle. The Devils are going to go on the power play in the first 2 minutes of this game on the hooking call.
Muller showing great balance there as he breaks in and around the defenseman. Gets his feet, even though the referee called a penalty. Muller was still able to keep his balance. Watch here. Pulls on Muller, even knocked down, but the great balance of Muller. He kept on his feet and almost got the puck back in front of the net for a goal.
Mike Lawler, number 26, was the one pulling from behind with that stick. And the 26-year-old is in the box for hooking at 119, and the New Jersey Devils get the power play opportunity early on here. There are the scratches for the Devils.
You see Starkov, he's at his 7th game now. Brady, Sundstrom, this is his 10th game. Rutsalainen and Jimmy Korn, who played last night in Philadelphia.
Devils are with the advantage here early on. Each team has had one shot out in front. Muller tried. Tommy Abilene hit the post. Tommy Abilene hit the post to the left of Vincent Riando. Ricochets all the way down to Chris Terreri. Riando came way out of the net that time. Walt Podubny back on the ice. Podubny getting some playing time. It's been a while for Walter. Podubny will bring it in. He put him right back out. Looking in front for Muller. Knocked away. Blues come away with it, and it will be cleared out. The Devils here at home are 20th on the power play at home, but they're 10th overall. Short-handed effort is wide. Played out the center ice by Oates. Back to Roberts. And they'll just rag it back for a moment. Devils changing up here. They've got 1:09 left on the power play. Over to Adam Oates. Oates looking with Brendamore. Rolled in on Terreri. 19-year-old Brendamore. Short-handed unit. Rod Brendamore hasn't had a goal in 14 games. Played back by Brendan Shanahan. Devils having trouble moving up ice. Patrick Sundstrom out there on the power play unit for the Devils. Devils last season against the St. Louis Blues went 3 for 10 on the power play. First time these teams have met this season. Sundstrom lost it. Kept in by Shanahan to Driver. Blues coming out after the puck. Over to Patrick Sundstrom. Couldn't quite get that one. Bounced over the stick. 30 seconds on the power play. Shanahan back out. Defenseman moving in. Fetisov. Good job by Fetisov to hold it in. He'll take the near side point. Patrick Sundstrom, 20 on the power play for the Devils. Now the Blues drop back. Fetisov blocked in front, rolls in, and Riando will hang on as Fetisov got a hold of that one, but didn't get all of it.
He was blocked right at the center ice, or right in the slot area. Slipped up on Riando. Fetisov. A bit of a tough night last night. The Blues Driver were -2 for the Devils, but they won the hockey game. He played some of his best hockey since coming back from his knee injury. The only problem he has with the brace that has been fitted for his left knee is that occasionally it'll catch. You'll see Fetisov just seemingly fall for no reason. But it's just that brace. They have to keep adjusting it all the time as his leg gets stronger and the muscles build up in the leg.
Patrick Sundstrom, first star of last night's game. He's leading the Devils with 11 goals, 31 assists, 42 points on the season for Patrick Sundstrom, who's right now 16th in the National Hockey League in scoring. Cleared around the boards to Tom Tilley. Tilley gets it out. Sundstrom there. The Devils running out of time now. Only 5 seconds remaining on the power play chance. McLean brought it in. Scooped away far side. Devils hold it. Patrick Sundstrom hit the side of the net. That may have caught the outside of the post. Penalty's over. So the St. Louis Blues have killed it off in the middle. McLean, Sundstrom, point driver, shot high, deflected by Tilly wide. In the corner, Peter Zezel freed it up, got it away to Dave Lowry. Lowry will bring it out, and it will be cleared in wide of the net. So the Devils do not score in their first power play chance and had only one shot on the power play opportunity. Aaron Brott trying to get to it. It's wrapped back to center by Paul McLean, brought in by the Devils on and offside. Ryan Sutter, head coach, number retired, former St. Louis Blues, and a member of our favorite family.
I was talking to Brian before the game, and he said to say Merry Christmas to Mom and Dad.
And the whole clan.
And the whole clan.
Great to have you all with us. It'll be taken back in behind the net. Glenn Featherstone back to get it to defenseman. Wraps it around the boards. Momesso hit by Wolanin. Sergio Momesso and Wolanin, they meet a couple of times tonight. The two big guys. Momesso has done a good job for them. Rick Mahar's shot was blocked. It'll be played by Brott. Brott clears it to the board. David Maley's got it. Maley trying to get it out. Randy Valachek. Valachek up to Wolanin. Wolanin brings it in. Wolanin looking. Maley going to the net. Centered. Maley. He couldn't get through. Featherstone cut him down. Dougie Brown behind the play. Goes to the board. Hard. He's down on the ice in the corner. And looks like he is all right. And a penalty coming up on the Blues again. The Devils are going to go back on the power play in the interference.
Mahar took Brown's speed out as Brown was coming towards the net. Dougie Brown went in very hard to the end board. Far side right there, you see. Mahar give Brown the shot, and Brown, I don't think he really expected it. When he went down, he didn't have much chance to really get himself prepared to go in heavily to the board.
Well, he will go to the box on the interference call at 4:24. Devils back on their second power play. Abilene saved made by Riondo. He'll hang on to it. Riondo, only 23 years old. Kurt Muller having words out in front now. Riondo's from Quebec. Fourth pro season. Second with St. Louis. And he was involved in a deal along with Sergio Momesso coming from Montreal. We'll see whether or not this 23-year-old can get the job done. Take a look at Paul Cavallini.
Last season, Cavallini was plus 45 on the defense of the St. Louis Blues. Plus 850. Solid defense of the St. Louis Blues.
Muller on the draw against Zezel. Zezel won it back behind the net. Cavallini brothers, of course, both working. Gino 17 and Paul 14. Short-handed effort for Zezel, who can do it. The shot saved Ferrari. Rebound loose. Good play by Muller, who stepped up to take Lowry out of the play. Johnson over to Turgeon. Turgeon sends it in. Mark Johnson. Devils on a power play. A minute 30 left on it. No score. 5 minutes into the game. Turgeon back up. Driver winds up. Shot. Deflected save made by Riondo. Picked up by Turgeon. Turgeon back to Tommy Abilene. Over to Turgeon. Turgeon turns. Shoots blocked. Muller tried to glove it. Zezel got it. Zezel. Muller. Good check by Kurt Muller. The captain fired up here in the first period. Driver again. Save made on a high shot. And he hangs on. And it's 7 left on the power play.
Riondo's been tested with a few shots, but nothing really difficult so far by the New Jersey Devils. When we're talking about a goaltender who's trying to get his team confidence in his play. And what does that mean? That means the defenseman will just play the man. They'll let when the player goes to the outside, take the shot. They won't be trying to fall down and block the shot and running out of position. So it's very important for Riondo to establish himself early as far as a competent NHL goaltender.
Off the draw again, Patrick Sundstrom losing this one as Oates won it. Brendamore in the corner. Devils trying to hold it in the zone. Devils have been led in scoring by John McLean. 7 power play goals for McLean. Bruce Driver working the point has picked up 10 assists and a goal. 11 of Bruce Driver's points have come off the power play. Driver with a puck right there. Brendamore turns it. Brendamore, the 19-year-old, up on the forecheck short-handed here. Devils bringing it in. Patrick Sundstrom to Shanahan. Brendan Shanahan back down to Sundstrom. 36 on the power play. Gordy Roberts moves in. Shanahan back to McLean. A little room out there now. Driver looking. Driver sends it. Fetisov in. Tried to get it into the middle and couldn't do it. And it'll be cleared out. It was blocked by Jeff Brown on the pass. Fetisov had the shot, passed it up.
He was going right across through the seams with Patrick Sundstrom. But the Blues read it. Had 2 or 3 players right there.
Good hold in by Fetisov to John McLean. McLean, time running out, 8 seconds on the power play. McLean, the shot, save Riondo, rebound. Fetisov didn't get it, broke his stick. Broke his stick on the shot, so he's got to go back to the bench now. And the penalty is over. The Devils are 0 for 2 on the power play. Patrick Sundstrom looking, tried to get it to Fetisov, who was trying to sneak in on the far side. Rick Mahar got it and sends it out. And the Blues kill off the second one. Devils 0 for 2 on the power play.
Fetisov is very active on that power play, coming in from the point, giving the forward someone to pass to.
Back comes David Maley. Maley, Brown, Broughton, intercepted by Lawler. Lawler backs it up. Sergio Momesso. Momesso looking. Devils on the forecheck, sending two. Maley and Doug Brown were both in that time. And through center, Momesso, goal and 3 assists for Sergio Momesso in his last 4 games. Brown clears it around. Momesso rams him into the glass. Willanen gets it out to Broughton. Craig Willanen back in the lineup after missing a couple of games. Came back last night. Cavallini around the boards for Momesso. Takes a weird hop to the center. Balashek shot saved by Riondo. Those are not hard shots. They're just shots straight on. Riondo's not having any trouble with it, as Peter said.
The key there is the St. Louis Blue defensemen are keeping the forwards out of the front of the net so you can see them all the way to the point clearly.
He's just knocking them away. Lawler in behind the net. Mike Lawler. Devils really up on the forecheck here. They're trying to pin the St. Louis Blues in the end. Try to keep that offense going. Penalty coming up on the Devils behind the play. Blues will get the power play on the trip on Ojanen as he enters the box. And he doesn't pick up a lot of penalty minutes this season. In fact, he only has 6 penalty minutes on the year.
So far in this game, there really has not been much emotion. The crowd is not yet into this game, and neither team really looks like they're into it. This is the first time these two teams have met. It's the Blues 35th, the Devils 36th game. There's no real reason to dislike each other. They've only heard about each other so far this season. So as the game goes along, I'm sure it'll warm up. But right now, neither team is really playing that well.
Devils with first place, of course, up for grabs. Inside the shot by McLean. He got mugged in front. Carreri and Danico on him, but he walked it right in front of the net. Randy Balashek will bring it out for the Devils, shorthanded. Devils, Patrick Sundstrom in the penalty-killing unit. Both these teams have scored only one shorthanded goal this season. They've done much when they've been shorthanded. Up against the boards, held in. Balashek with a check, sending the puck up. Dug out and cleared out by John McLean. Devils continue to use their high scorers, good skaters on the penalty-killing unit. Rod Brendamore drops it to center. There's Brown, acquired in that deal. Slapped it right off Balashek's skate. Checking to make sure the blade didn't get cracked on that one. Cavallini sends it around the board. Brendamore couldn't hold it in. Knocked away by Doug Brown. They dump it in. It's a delayed offside call. There's the whistle as the Blues touch that one up, and they still have a minute 3 of the power play.
And with the Paul McLean so far this season, 13 goals, 297 goals so far in his NHL career. He was actually originally drafted by the St. Louis Blues back in 1978. He was traded to Winnipeg, went to Detroit last year, and then came over with Adam Oates. You know, big trade this summer for Federico and McKagan. But he has since moved on to Quebec.
When they're still choking on.
Exactly. This time you look up and you see a player that you traded for, number 8 in the National Hockey League, scoring, and you did get as much back as maybe you would have liked.
Got some big scorers in this game. You got Hull, who's 7th in the league overall and 1st in goals. Oates, who is 8th, as Peter said. Patrick Sundstrom, who is 16th in the league in scoring. Bruce Driver, who's 7th among defensemen. And Ojanen, who's 11th among the rookies. Brown trying to clear it out. Driver there. Hull holds it in. Hull dropped it back to Momesso. Lost it. Cavallini's got it. Power play. Blues. Good play by Aaron Broughton. No penalties. He got hauled down. Crowd wanted one. 30 seconds remaining on the St. Louis Blues power play. The Blues, 33 power play goals, and 20 of them have come on the road. 7th overall, 7th on the road. Brown shoots it in wide. Muller going back to get it, tied up by Adam Oates. 15 on the power play for St. Louis. Hull was able to hold it in. Hull has 9 power play goals. That's he with the puck right there. Lost it. Mark Johnson cleared it out. Muller trying to break, poked away by Brown. Hull back to get it. 29 goals, 20 assists for Hull. Devils clear. Good job. Penalties over. So, 0 for 1 for St. Louis on the power play.
Well, it was pretty easy for the Devils to read what the St. Louis Blues were going to do. They just got the puck to center ice and wrapped it around the board and tried to flood a zone. But the Devils did a good job of fighting along the board, not letting the Blues get possession of the puck.
It'll be played by Tom Tilley. Tilley's passed to Gordy Roberts. Roberts just wanted to get out of the zone and did. Wolanin back to get it. No score. 9:50 to go first period. We will keep you posted, of course, on all the other National Hockey League scores, and there are lots of them. The Islanders won today. Boston came back to win in their game as well, the 2 afternoon games. We'll have all the scores during our first intermission. Tilly pinning it up with Muller. No whistle on it. Tilly, Muller. Tilly got it back to Gordy Roberts behind the net. Good crowd on hand here tonight. Lots of youngsters. It's being the holiday weekend. Cleared in, wide of the net. Wolanin back to get it. And he'll take the check, or tried to avoid it from Jim Vesey. Vesey, a good job to hold it in. Valachek knocks it to Wolanin. Again, pinned up on the boards. Turgeon moves in, firing his body. Steve Tuttle, number 35, right there. The shot deflected up and into the stand. Tuttle was like the human cannonball. The shot deflected, rebound, score! The captain, Mahar, puts it in. And the Blues take a 1-0 lead.
Ricky Mahar plays for the New Jersey Devils, traded for Perry Anderson a few seasons ago. Now in his 5th year with the St. Louis Blues, give the Blues a 1-0 lead. He just comes off to the left part of your screen. He's all by himself. Again, you can't leave players alone in the slot, especially when there's going to be a shot coming from the point. They're going to get that rebound. You see several Devils players looking back at the puck and not looking at the men that were around the puck.
Red light on from Mahar, 5th of the season, 1-0 Blues. That breaks the streak. Puck hit with a high stick, draws a whistle. Devils have scored the first goal in the last 8 games they've played in. They've had the first goal in a record 22 games this season, but it hasn't meant a whole lot. They're 12 and 10 games where they've had the first goal.
36-year-old Ricky Mahar, 5'8", 170 pounds. He's named captain of the St. Louis Blues before the season started. St. Louis is one of the youngest teams in the National Hockey League, and that makes the responsibility of the captain that much more, because you've got players coming to you about cars, about insurance, about a lot of things that once you've been around the league for a while, you can do.
Yeah.
Like balancing a check.
That's right. No, that's not necessarily true. McLean gets stood up by Fetisov and Driver. Back to get it. Zezel centers. Right underneath McLean. Shot saved. Terreri. Cavallini coming through the slot was all by his lonesome on that shot. And Terreri, point blank range.
Dino Cavallini, 17 right here, picked the puck up. And he is all by himself. Again, the Devil defenseman is forward, seemingly watching the puck and not watching the St. Louis players in the slot. 20 goals last year for Cavallini, so he gets 4. That was a good save, a timely save by Terreri.
Mahar's goal at 10:58 from Vesey and Paul Cavallini, 5th of the season for Mahar. Sent in wide by McLean. Career for Mahar, 3 goals now against the New Jersey Devils, including 1 last season. Devils won the series last year, 2-1. They have won the last 3 games against the Blues here at the Meadowlands. Right now, St. Louis has got the early lead. Right through the crease of the pass by Fetisov, held in by Zezel. Fetisov back to Patrick Sundstrom. Brought up, Devils Sundstrom over to McLean. Sundstrom in the middle with some room. McLean looking, defenseman went back. Good play by Gordy Roberts. Roberts took away the play to the middle. Devils will try and hold in. Driver does for the moment. Not very long. It's out to Jeff Brown. Back comes Cavallini again. The shot blocked just wide. Fetisov, that almost let it go in. Zezel and Shanahan collide. Fetisov sends it out. It wasn't Fetisov's fault. He was trying to block the shot, but in doing so, deflected it. John McLean intercepts. McLean, Tilly just grabs a hold of him, ties him up. Featherstone gets it out, and it ends up in the stand. Little Christmas present from the fans right there. Shot by Wolanin is wide. Featherstone back to get it. Players that are on the boards: Howell, Valachek, Turgeon to the point. Mark Johnson holds it into Muller. Muller in front, wrap around, not quite. Tilly knocks it away from Turgeon. Muller just came around, shot it. Gonna get onside, they do. The captain back in, and that pickpocketed away and shot out by Featherstone. Back to Turgeon. Turgeon, the move. Taken off by Tilly and knocked down. Tilly got just enough of him to take him off the puck. Here's Adam Oates. Oates, Brendamore. Rod Brendamore between the legs of Wolanin. Valachek covers. Valachek can't get it by Adam Oates. They go to the middle for Howell. Brendamore backs it up. There's Howell. This line can skate, twirl, and shoot. Taken by Turgeon. Turgeon flips it over to Muller. Devils want to change. Muller getting beat up over there by Tilly. Tilly playing some top defense. First period, he's been all over Kirk Muller on this shift. Brendamore brings it in. Brendamore drops it to the middle. Oaks the move. Tommy Abilene, nice as he pickpocketed that one with a poke check. And it'll be brought out by Turgeon again. In the middle, Maley. Maley tried to drop it, comes back to get it, gets knocked down. Brendamore took him down. Hull at center. Nice play by Dougie Brown. And the Blues will change it up. Danico's got the puck. 1-0 St. Louis, 6:15 to go, first period. Doug Brown, he was out in front. Played by Vincent Riondo. Brown, pinned up, comes free around the net, Steve Tuttle. Tuttle will headman this one to center. Gets there, sends it in. It is an icing call. Danico touches, they wave it off. Waved it off as it did not get by the goal line as Danico played it out in front of the line. Back to center. Blues controlling the skating game right now. Getting the better of the offensive rush.
They're getting the puck in the center ice area. They're just dumping it back into the Devils' zone. And what they're doing very well right now is following through in the check.
Mamesso back out to Roberts. They've got two in front of the net. Shot partially blocked. Mamesso, the turnaround shot. That one blocked by Danico. Danico goes to the corner. Puts the elbow out. Knocked down Fessy. He gets knocked down. Maley knocks down Mamesso. Heavy-duty hitters out there right now. Doug Brown, nice drop pass. Tommy Abilene finds himself alone, so he just sends it in. Then there's Jeff Brown taking it in behind the net, allowing both teams to change it up. 1-0 Blues on top. 6 shots for the Devils, 5 for the Blues. With 5 minutes to go here in the first period. Behind the net, Fetisov. Huscroft, first shift. J.B. Huscroft out there. Zezel intercepted. Zezel dumps it back in. Fetisov is there. Oyen and Podubny and Huscroft. Oyen, shot! Misses! And he doesn't miss many in getting it on net. Just wide on that one. Peter Zezel gets it as Mahar dug it out. Drop pass back into the middle. Sent in by Featherstone. Carreri makes the save, and Carreri lost it. Score! Peter Zezel! Carreri did not see Zezel. Tried to clear the puck and put it right on Peter Zezel's stick. 2-0 Blues.
And Gary, again, we're seeing the Devils seemingly come out with a little drop in concentration in that game after a divisional game. They're just, you don't have a record like the Devils have of 500 hockey and have something like 1-7-0 against, non-divisional teams after divisional games. Right there, he thought he just misfired on it.
He was trying to push it from his glove to his stick. And when he pushed it off his glove, he saw Zezel coming, picked his stick up, and it went right underneath the stick to Zezel. So the Farmer Flyers give St. Louis a 2-0 lead. That'll fire them up now, and they'll go for the juggler right here. Zezel gets it unassisted at 15:25. Patrick Sundstrom with it. Sundstrom drops it. Sundstrom ahead, McLean. John McLean had it poke checked away by Mahar. St. Louis has won 4 games against the Patrick division. They've lost 1 and they've tied 1, so they've done well. McLean saved by Riondo. He too will be fired up with a 2-0 lead to work with right here. Mahar takes it behind the net. Blues have beaten Pittsburgh twice, 8-3 and 9-3. They beat Washington 1-0 and the Rangers 3-1. Their only losses against Philadelphia 6-1 and a 1-1 tie against the Caps. Off the draw, Mark Johnson and Adam Oates. Oates wanted back to Gordy Roberts. Roberts around the board for Hull. Mark Johnson was outside the zone when he clipped it in. St. Louis controls 3-on-3 the other way. Brought in by Hull. Hull, great drop pass. Brendamore, shot, save, Carreri. What a play by Hull. It was like the quarterback on a draw. He had everybody with him. They never knew he passed the puck. Shot, save, Riondo and Mark Johnson. Johnson had a quick wrist shot that time. That the Devils denied. There's Hull. Hull with that drop pass to Brendamore. Brendamore went in all by himself because everybody thought Hull still had the puck. Dropped in the middle of Mark Johnson. Johnson in. Turgeon, the puck, the shot, save. No whistle here, but everybody stopped skating. Now it's cleared up to Adam Oates.
What a big save by Carreri after he let the tough goals go in. Then he had the breakaway by Brendamore. It could have been a 3-0 lead for St. Louis. Would have been big trouble for the Devils.
Lannon plays it around. In the middle for David Maley. Maley, Devils are changing here. Puts it by Cavallini. But it'll be picked up by Mahar, who has one of the two Blues goals. They're being outshot here. The Devils have 9, Blues have 8. Vesey into the corner with Doug Brown. Vesey and Danico join shoulders. Danico pushes it away, held in the point by Cavallini. You see how the Blues get it back down deep in a hurry. Vesey tried to wrap around. Danico denied it. Stl comes in to get it. Stl has got the other goal tied up by Tommy Abilene. Obviously, the Blues team here tonight get that puck down by the net and then start skating around the net with it. Danico comes away with it. Danny Danico is a 4-on-3 for the Devils right here. Sent in high stick, and they blow the whistle. I'm not sure about that. The Devils have control of the puck. Blues trying to get out of a losing streak as they are 0-2-1. This is the third of 3 games on the road for them. Devils, of course, after the win last night, put together another win streak, starting here at home if they can. And they will have one eye on the scoreboard tonight to see what's happening in those Philadelphia Ranger games being played tonight.
See there, like most teams in National Hockey, when you score first, as a matter of fact, I think that's a little under.
Low.
Yeah, that's low. When you score first in the National Hockey League, you usually have a real good chance of winning the hockey game. Brian Sutter walking up and down behind the St. Louis bench there, trying to figure out how to keep this thing going, because right now they're playing a very solid game.
No question about the ability of the St. Louis Blues. Puck in the net with the people they've got out there, even though they are 13th in the league right now. The St. Louis Blues have the ability to score, and really what they've been more concerned with has been their defensive game. The John Cuniff, same there. He wants to improve his defense using those 2 checking lines he's put together regularly now. Driver holds it in. The Tisov sent it in. Patrick Sundstrom. Sundstrom tried to tap it back. Cavallini got it. Away to Momesso. Momesso clears the zone. Only a minute 36 to go here in the first period. Zezel plays it. Sundstrom shot it in. Riondo will cover it up. And we will update you on all the scores in the National Hockey League tonight.
Talking about Brett Hull, he's one of those young men you meet in hockey. You instantly like an opportunity to play with him in the World Championships, and the U.S. team went to Russia and sit around for 21 days in the Russian hotel. You really get to know somebody pretty well. And I don't think I've ever seen someone who's just as laid back and unaffected by the fame that he had before he really even done too much in national hockey. Just because of his father's name, he was the big draw for the U.S. team.
He certainly is putting on a show in the National Hockey League as far as scoring is concerned right now. Devils want one desperately here in the final minute. Turgeon in. Turgeon dropped it, intercepted by Gordy Roberts. Blues have done a good job all around tonight on that play right there. Brought in by Lowry. Lowry shot hit the side of the net. The Tisov going to get it. A minute to go in the period. Puck freed up and out by Mark Johnson. Back to get it is Jeff Brown. Rangers in Washington no score first period of their game tonight. It's full schedule of action in the National Hockey League on this Saturday night. Maley's got it. Maley goes cross ice to no avail. Brown back in his own end. Takes a look at the clock. 37 seconds. Maley comes up to try and force the play here. Brown just does not want to make a big mistake in his own end. Cavallini, Gino with it. Runs into Danico. Lowry, Hull centered off the stick of the goaltender. He got it in. Danico, 20 seconds left. Plenty of time. Danico to Brown. Brown onside. Tied up again by Tilley. Danico tried to run it through. Couldn't do it. Again, you see the Blues getting it out to Hull. Two-line pass. They are not letting the Devils get into those good scoring positions. Top of the circle, slot area.
Just one more point. I really like this kid's way he plays hockey. It's pretty obvious, but I haven't seen many players use one of the aluminum sticks. He gets that little extra pop when he shoots that puck. But I haven't seen many players who shoot the puck so naturally. When he gets it, he looks like he should shoot a puck the minute he gets it. His wrist shot, slap shot, whatever he uses, just seems to be the movement, everything looks perfect. A nice golf swing. Just some people have it, some people don't. Doesn't matter whether it's accurate or not.
He's got it. We've got a penalty, or at least one, with only 8 seconds left to go. Trottier, the referee, caught some high sticking against Hull, who was doing it. Tommy Abilene, and I think they're both going to go now. Both will head to the dressing rooms here with only 8 seconds left to go. Hull's going to get an extra 8 seconds of rest, and Tommy Abilene the same.
Tommy Abilene last night +4. His partner Kenny Danico +5. Philadelphia. They both had a big night. Abilene, of course, getting an assist on the overtime winner last night. As we see the penalty, 2 players right there. A little extra for their stick.
Both out of there. 1952, getting the sticks up. Devils have the advantage here, though, as they'll get this draw in the Blues' end. David Maley will take the face-off against Mahar. Driver's back at the point, tried to draw it there. Brown got it there. Driver, the shot just went wide. He got it through a screen that time. Danico dumps it out in front, and that will be it here in the first period. So the St. Louis Blues come out alive in this first period at the Meadowlands.
Not a good first period for the New Jersey Devils. They just seem to be a little flat, and on top of that, Terreri has a little tough luck where he just misplays the puck in front of the net to give the Melee team out. And I thought he was really the spark at the start of the game for the New Jersey Devils and got them off to a 2-0 lead. He got an assist on Brown's goal at the start of the game. But he played an outstanding game, particularly early, when I think the Devils were maybe a little down from that 5-4 loss.
Mahar brought it in, but it was offside. The Devils need somebody right now to spark things up for them here. Mahar has been able to do that for the St. Louis Blues, picking up that first goal of the first period.
Now, Ricky Mahar's career was going along quite nicely, but it looked like he was at a time in his career when things were going to, it was at breaking point, where he was going to suddenly maybe be let go, sent to the minors. He went from 190 to 170 in weight and just really started to physically condition himself, and he bought himself another 3 or 4 years in the National Hockey League, strictly by hockey count, but also by being good shape. He is 36 years old.
Good, solid player. Lawler takes it around the net. Tried to center it out, couldn't get it there as Maley intercepted. He shipped it in against the boards. Mahar was there around to Sergio Momesso. Momesso clears it out. Takes down by Fetisov. Fetisov going back in his own end. Dangerously close that time to Terreri. Broughton got it. Had it poke checked away, sends it in. Was at the red line when he got it in. Lawler back to get it. 1-0 lead now for Washington over the Rangers on a Kevin Stevens goal in the second period. 1-0 in the second. One ends up in the stands. Scott Stevens scored the goal. Buffalo, Quebec are 1-1 now in the first period. Goulet and Pogue have scored the goals in that one. Brian Bellows, his 23rd goal for Minnesota. They lead Hartford 1-0. Cold outside?
Oh.
Huh?
Oh, it's a football player.
The fans went to watch the game. I don't know. Our statisticians, too, have the great line here during the first intermission, didn't they?
We did. Go ahead.
Played 80 minutes of sports at the Meadowlands, and the home team hasn't scored yet. Brought up by Brown. The Jets were beaten today 37-0. Centered by Brown, taken away by Brendan Shanahan. Shanahan got it out into the middle. McLean, Devils still have not figured out how to get that pass from center into the zone. That pass is being intercepted consistently by the Blues. Shanahan, McLean, shot, score! That's how you do it. John McLean roofed it over the left shoulder of Riondo. 2-1 Blues.
Johnny McLean will pick up a 20th goal of the season. Jerry, this is as good a shot as anybody in the National Hockey League can make. He takes the time, he turns, he positions his body. Nice pass by Shanahan coming out of the corner, but none of that's going to matter unless Johnny McLean gets this puck exactly where he puts it. Watch this shot. Right off.
Is that a sniper?
Is he a good hockey player?
Having a great year. Devils are 20-goal scorers now. Shot by Wolanin, deflected up and into the crowd. Bergeron got there first. He's 20-10 on the season. And now John McLean with his goal is 20-20. 40 points now for John McLean, and he gets the goal with the assist going to Brendan Shanahan at 1:20 into the period.
He's got 7 goals now in the last 8 games. Last night, he scored his 150th goal in the National Hockey League, so that was 151st goal in the National Hockey League.
It's obviously a very important goal when you're down 2-0. Get that one rather than falling behind by 3. It will be brought in, tipped away to Turgeon, who gets it out to Muller. Muller racing. Muller the turn. Could not get it out in front. He got taken back in behind the net. Tom Tilley. Good play by Tilley on Muller that time. Back at the other end. Held on to Fetisov. Fetisov looking for some help. Got jammed up against the boards. Dug out by Mark Johnson. Johnson gets checked by Jim Vesey. Vesey, Muller, Oates, Vesey. Vesey got it away to Brendamore. Brendamore with Oates. Oates looking for Brendamore in the middle. Trying to get it into him. Brendamore was in behind the net. Fetisov over to get it. Shots are 11-8 in favor of the Devils. Scores 2-1 in favor of the Blues. Mark Johnson up to Turgeon. Turgeon off the boards and out. Featherstone sends it right back in. Blues will dump it. As soon as they get it at center, it's shot right back into the offensive zone. They don't mess around with center ice passes. Shot in, good one by Turgeon, save made. Vincent Riando coming up with that one. Riando, 3-3-2 goals against. Trying to hit on the break Mahar, and that is going to be an offside pass.
What the Blues like to do, as they said, was get that puck in, and it always is good if you know exactly what's going to happen. The Blues right now have a good feel for how this game is going. The minute that puck comes out, the forwards aren't even looking for a pass. They're just turning and going right back into the zone because they know that puck is going to be pounded into the Devils' defensive zone, and they're just going to attack. 500
hockey for the St. Louis Blues at this point puts them in fourth place in the Norris Division. They have 34 points, 2 behind Toronto. Chicago, Minnesota, Toronto, and St. Louis. They are, however, 7 ahead of Detroit. Detroit lost. Momesso shot that one wide. To the point, Cavallini sends it in. That was tipped, blocked by Wolanin, who got the body down on it. Cleared up by Dubny. In the middle to J.B. Huscroft, and the Devils will dump this one in. Huscroft sending it in. Riando was back there to hold it to Cavallini, and he sends that about 80 rolls back. That was intentionally put away into the seats. You could call a delay game on that, but it doesn't happen very often.
Cavallini brothers playing together for the St. Louis Blues. We just found out last night there are 13 brother combinations in the National Hockey League. The Devils are a part of 3 of them. Rotten brothers, Turgeon brothers, and the Thompson brothers play together. Originally with the Washington Capitals, came over for a second-round draft choice. I think it's one of those trades on the Washington Capitals which they had to make. He turned into a solid NHL defenseman again. Plus 25 last year, plus 8 this year. You're always looking to find plus defensemen.
Mr. and Mrs. enjoying the game before they have to make the rounds tomorrow night. Zezel and Shanahan will take the face-off here. 2-1, Blues leading it. We're 4 minutes, or actually less than 4 minutes, into the second period. Taken in behind the net by Brown. By the way, John McLean now hitting that 20-goal season for the 5th straight year. He had a career-high 42 goals last year for the Devils. Roberts going back to get it. Shanahan on the forecheck, forcing Roberts to fiddle and diddle a little bit, but he did. McLean gets it up to Zezel. Zezel in. McLean cutting to the net between the legs. Blocked by Shanahan to the point. Brown the shot straight on. Terreri saw it and blocked it. Patrick Sundstrom grabs the rebound. Zezel with an angle on him just walks in and takes it away. Back up the center to McLean. Paul McLean couldn't get it by Fetisov. Came right back to him. Taken by Driver. 16 minutes to go in the second. Driver. Shanahan open. Fakes it. Drops it. McLean hit the post. He hit the goaltender Riando, and then it hit the post. McLean turns it in. Shanahan trying to center Sundstrom. Sundstrom's got it. McLean again. The shot deflected way up into the stands. John McLean that close to having his second goal of the period.
Nice play by Shanahan off the boards. He stopped the shot because he heard McLean and moved the puck into the middle. It was a good play and a nice shot, but Randall was right there.
Haley sends it in wide of the net. Back to get it is Tom Tilley. Definitely do not want to have a Tilley, Tuttle. Who's the other one? Twist. Tilley, Tuttle, and Twist on the Blues. If they were on a line, there'd be no more broadcasters in the National Hockey League. Broughton comes to the middle. Red line looking. He'll have to dump it in. He had Brown ahead, but Brown had gotten tied up behind the play. Hull clears it out to Oates. Oates back to Hull in the middle. This is the line. He got a shutdown at center. They get it opened up into full gear. Going into the zone, you're in trouble. Broughton, good move. Broughton freed the puck. Tied up by Tilley again. Hull moves in. Hull bangs it around. Danico there. Danico back to Maley. Maley behind the net to Broughton. Broughton gets sticked a little by Tom Tilley. Puck's underneath. Brown helping out. Dougie Brown had a goal last night. Hull knocked it away. Maley's got it. Maley coming. Maley backhands it. Trying to get it across. Ice block. Shot Danico. That one deflected. Goes into the corner to Brown. Dougie Brown was alone when Maley tried to get it to him in the far post. Maley again looking. Maley got a man open at the point. Shot Brown. Didn't get it. Took the shot and just hit it off the heel of the stick. Hull will bring it back out. Good effort by the Devils right there. Hull in, knocked down, no penalty. Devils trying to break, catching the Blues on a change. 3-on-2, intended for Muller, played by Riondo. Blues getting their people on the ice. Devils use the opportunity to change as well. Adam Oates will bring it ahead for St. Louis. They're leading it 2-1. Oates in, Brenda Moore in front of him, taking away Mark Johnson. Johnson sends it out. Turgeon Cavallini tied him up. Brought in Muller. Muller over Johnson! Save! Rebound!
And Muller kicked this puck in. Muller kicked this in. The referee, he was going to call a penalty. I think the St. Louis Blues are backing off. So I think they're going to call this goal off.
I think the linesman saw this one, and they're not going to count the goal. Muller gave it the best effort on both the kick and the celebration. But they're going to say he directed the puck intentionally into the net.
Muller will come to the bottom of your screen. Right there. Did a good job of balance.
That's so tough to do. It ought to be allowed. See, and you can he gave it away.
He gave away. He looked at the referee. You got to look shocked. Like, how did that thing get in there? I don't have any idea.
Last thing you want to do is look at the referee. You could see he knew he kicked it in and was looking to see whether he was going to get it or not. When he turned, he will not. There is a penalty called on it, though. Lawler's going to go to the penalty box. So the Devils do not get the goal kicked in by Muller.
The Devils are starting to get some good chances. McLean had a good chance to tie it up. Now Muller's had a good chance to tie it up on a rebound from Johnson, who had a clean break right there. The Devils seemingly starting to get into the flow of the game.
See if the Devils can get it tied up on the power play chance. And Muller, you saw, not arguing at all, much less vehemently about it. He knew, he hoped, and it didn't work. Lawler's the hooking at 6:02. And the Devils go on the power play for the third time.
Yeah, one of the things we're seeing more and more of is Brendan Shanahan taking faceoffs on the line with Sunstrom, even though Sunstrom will play center ice on the line. Shanahan takes a lot of the draws.
John McLean, who's got the goal for the Devils, over to Driver. Power play Devils, tip. Wide. McLean tipped that one wide of the net. Tommy Abilene steps up. Jammed by Mahar and cleared out by Brown. Oh, the Blues short-handed, but they've got the 2-1 lead. The Devils are piling the shots up now, 15-9. Shots in favor of the Devils. Chance to get it tied. Patrick Sundstrom with it. Sundstrom over to Driver. Driver. Tommy Abilene. Driver in the middle on the fly. That was wide. Sundstrom. Shanahan stationed in front of the net. Now he's got to move to the corner. Dave Lowry is there, and Lowry clears it to the length of the ice. Blues, who have given up 17 power play goals on the road, 7th in penalty killing in road games, 10th overall. Shanahan. Patrick Sundstrom, Tommy Abilene. Changes sides with Driver. 52 on the power play. McLean. 2-1 Blues. McLean. Shot. Save Riondo. Ferocious rebound. Ricocheted off the back of the net. Sundstrom to Shanahan. Shanahan trying to hit Driver. Driver stepping up. Zezel takes the puck. Lost it. Shanahan. Zezel got it back. Good play by Peter Zezel. Tommy Abilene, Sundstrom. Shanahan hadn't cleared the zone. Tilley's got it. Down to 28 seconds on the Devils' advantage. Look out. One ricocheted up towards the front of the net. Kurt Muller. Muller tied up, taken off by Mahar.
And one of the things the St. Louis Blues team they like to do is use 2 units, but only use it for about 35, 40 seconds. They had Mahar out with Lowry for 40 seconds, and then Zezel came on, and now Mahar is finishing up the last part of the penalty killing.
Jordy Roberts in the corner, away to Mahar. Penalty is over. Lawler's out of the penalty box. And the Devils are 0 for 3 now on their power play. Fetisov bothered by big Jim Bessing. Fetisov down. Bessing pulled him over. Puck's free and taken by Turgeon. Turgeon up to Muller. 2-on-3 situation right now. Muller waiting for help. Wolanin, the defenseman, gives it to him. Shoots it in. Riondo puts it in the glove. Had to drop it off. Nobody was there. Brown's got it. Jeff Brown, the newly acquired from the Northeast, shoots it in. Carreri makes the save. That was a hard shot by Brown from the blue line. I want to send along our holiday greetings to everyone out there. Happy Hanukkah and happy and Merry Christmas.
Maybe for your socks and no shoes, and we'd be all set.
I tell you, we could get down and boogie and get back up. Well, clears it up to Broughton. No, we really couldn't. Broughton brings it in. Well, she could, but I couldn't. Broughton just missed that one wide. Goes to the corner, played by Gino Cavallini. Put your headset back on. Cavallini down the left side, in the middle. Cavallini in. Missed it wide. He set himself up and then missed the net. Back to the point. Lawler chips it in. Tipped wide. Cavallini's on a fly. Hit by Wolanin. Penalty coming up on the Devils. And there's the whistle. It's a cross-checking call on Craig Wolanin. Power play for the Blues.
The last power play that the Blues had, Hull had just finished a shift, so he wasn't able to play much of the power play. But this is their number one power play right now. So look for Hull to be floating around the puck back at the point with Brown and Oates. Brown doing the shooting and Oates doing the quarterbacking.
And it is a good power play unit. They're 7th in the league. Tried to get the Zezel back to Brown. Jeff Brown working one of the points here. That's Hull with a puck there. Brown is just 23, another one of the younger players on this Blues team. Hull is 25. In the middle, Zezel, and he missed the net. That one went wide. Was he open in the slot, though? Adam Oates tried to go cross-ice. Brown had already come back to center. Jeff Brown shaking it down, getting back onside the Blues. Oates, cross-ice to Zezel, dropped it. Trying to get it back to Zezel, rolls behind the net. Brendamore moves in. Rod Brendamore, Randy Valashek. Brendamore tipped it away. Danico giving chase with Hull. Danico takes Hull out of the play and controls the puck. Nice defensive play. Andy Danico able to get Hull out of there, but Brendamore held it in. Zezel, Hull! He didn't get it all! Missed it. Danico got a piece of it and it went wide. Carreri, knowing Hull's great shot, was already sliding across the crease. Brown held it in. Again, looking to the middle for Hull, knocked away from Brendamore. 45 on the power play. And John McLean sticks it to center.
Danico with a couple of real good defensive plays. One in the corner against Hull.
There's a penalty coming on Adam Oates. Good job by McLean. His effort creates the penalty. The Blues will lose 36 seconds of their power play. And we'll have a little bit of that unusual 4 for 4, Peter, that you were talking about in our Mr. McPuck segment before the game.
Here's some of the upcoming Devils home games. Wednesday, December 27th, the Washington Capitals. Patrick Division team comes to town 7:45. And then Friday, December the 29th, the New York Rangers. The Devils play at Madison Square Garden on the 26th, so that's twice in 1 week against the New York Rangers. Then Tuesday, January 2nd, the Buffalo Sabres come to town, the number 1 team in the National Hockey League.
Very important games, as they all are now. That's the wonderful thing about the Patrick Division from a fan's perspective. All of these games are so vitally important because you have no room in the Patrick Division anymore. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast with the Islanders' victory today, it's just 6 points now from top to bottom in the Patrick Division.
And LaFontaine with the game-winning goal today. I mean,
He's my MVP.
He has to be one. I like Bork, Messier. I always like Gretzky, and LaFontaine. Is you take those 4, put them in whatever order you want, and I think you have the 4 most valuable players in the league.
Devils, 4-on-4 right now. We'll get a power play in 16 seconds. Fetisov in the middle. Knocked away to Brown. Jeff Brown's got it. Oates went for holding at 10:30. Centered. That went wide as Tuttle tried to get the stick on it. Brown's got it. Devils will have a power play here in 3 seconds. Jersey's 0 for 3 on the power play. They've got it right now. Brown, he gets stood up and knocked down by Gordy Robertson, hit hard. Brown's had a physical game so far. Fetisov got it ahead. Oyanen brought it in, poke checked away by Lowry. Into the middle, short-handed Roberts. Roberts will turn to center. Devils are on the power play. Plenty of time, minute 5. They're going to get the puck. Curtin Muller does. 2-1, Blues are leading. They've shut the Devils' power play down in this game. Turgeon with Cavallini. Cavallini shot it off the side of his own net. Muller back. Roberts. Mahar. Driver. Good hold in by Driver. Behind the net intended for Muller. Near side Cavallini. You see the Blues coming right at that puck again now. Forcing the play as the Devils are not getting it set up. Turgeon dropped it. Muller. They're both together. Now Johnson there. They got three guys in one place. Two Blues defensemen cover it, and Zezel clears it out. That's not what they had in mind. Over to Fetisov. Change up for the Blues. Off the boards, Mark Johnson. Lawler pokes it away. Johnson trying to get it set up around Zezel. Behind the net, Muller, Johnson, all the way Fetisov, held it. Can't want it in to shoot it. Passed up a good shot. John McLean with the Devils goal. Hold it. McLean shot. Save made. Riondo. Penalty is over, and the Devils do not score on it. They are 0 for 4 on the power play now, and that's killing them as they still trail it by a score of 2-1. Driver back to get it. Driver's pass at center. Patrick Sundstrom knocked away. Cavallini got it. Sent in by Rod Brendamore. Fetisov. Brendamore on him. Oates. Brendamore's got the puck. Brendamore dropped it. Fetisov steps up. St. Louis Blues at a 2-0 lead. Lane got one here in the second period to make it 2-1. They're scoring since. Cavallini around the boards. Brendamore couldn't reach it. Tommy Abilene back to get it. Abilene and Danico. The defensive pairing for the Devils. McLean, not quite. Paul Cavallini backs it up. Kelly. Danico moved up, but Oates was there. Oates gets it away to Brendamore. Long shift for Brendamore. Brendamore shot, save made Terreri. Brendamore was following, knocked away Tommy Abilene.
Yeah, this game has taken a very scrambly type of play by both clubs. There's a lot of center ice play, a lot of turnovers, bouncing around a little bit. Not much flow going on for either team.
Cavallini gets it in. The shot by Lowry went wide. Mike Lawler rather missed that one wide. That one also off. Doug Brown gets it out. Blues are doing a good job covering up, as are the Devils right now. There's nobody sneaking behind the defense. Defensemen are staying way back to the Blues at center ice. And they get a change completed. Jeff Brown held it up behind the net. Dangerous cross-ice pass, but got away with it to Oates. Oates stepping in. Adam Oates with Paul McLean. McLean hit by Tommy Abilene. Danico lets it go to the other side to Maley. Shots are 18-12 in favor of the Devils, but it's a 2-1 Blues lead. Maley, Broughton, they're onside. Got it ahead to Brown. Brown back to Maley. Maley trying to center. And he was just tied up. McLean got it out. Vanessa had tied up Maley. Peter Zezel, the move, the shot, save Terreri. Cleared. Lawler will play it at center. That's what happens in a scrambly game. The chances come like that.
He's just out of nowhere. Good play by one player. Nice move by Zezel. Creates a scoring chance.
We have sent his whole cast on hand here tonight.
They've just seen themselves on TV.
Philadelphia leading Montreal 2-1 in their game at the Forum now. Eklund and Bullard have scored for Philadelphia. Richer has his 19th. Got Patrick Roy, the #1 goaltender in the National Hockey League. Turgeon in behind the net. Centering pass. Mark Johnson tried to hold it in. Could not do it. Hull had it tipped away by Randy Valashek. Cavallini across ice. Monesso's onside. Sends it in. Zezel got hit in the back with that one. Randy Valashek couldn't get it out of the zone. Muller does. Devils have a chance here. Blues again get back. 3-on-4. Mark Johnson. The shot. Muller. Sergio Monesso broke his stick on the ice after the goal was scored. He had tipped the pass.
Nice play here by Mark Johnson. Here's him. Monesso's upstairs. He thought he had Johnson pretty well tied up and get the puck towards the net. But Muller just knocks it down. Watch Johnson, left part of your screen, right here. Monesso thought he had it, but Muller just tips it, redirects it back to the legs. That's Muller's second goal of the game, but the first one in town.
Yeah.
Right there. Muller tips it back to the legs, and Muller red hot.
14 goals for the Devils captain, including the game winner last night. He's had 6 goals in his last 7 games and 12 points in those dozen games.
Last year, Kirk had, at the 40-game mark, at the halfway mark of the NHL, he had 34 points. That's his 41st point this season, and this is the Devils' 36th games, so he's well ahead of his pace last season.
So the Devils have fought back from a 2-0 deficit to tie it up. Puck ends up in the stands. Muller from Johnston and Valashek at 15-10. Walt Podubny sends it in on Riondo as the Devils battle back to tie this game at 2-2. McLean and Muller in the second period. Answering first period goals picked up by Mahar. And Sezel, shot, save, Terreri, and there is no rebound. Another big save at an opportune moment for Chris Terreri.
Boy, you want to see a guy who's flying. Lowry right here. That's a tough play. He had to turn completely after he picked that puck up. And he's able to beat Bruce Driver. It takes a great save by Terreri. But Lowry was just flying down the left wing. Watch how quickly he turns over, and he's still able to keep his speed going. Boy, is that ever an impressive move. I didn't realize Lowry, who was originally drafted by the Vancouver Canucks, came over a season ago to St. Louis Blues, was that quick a skater. That was very impressive.
He turned sideways to forward in a real hurry on that, didn't he? Behind the net, Danico. The fans getting into this one now with 4:14 to go in the second period. 2-2 game. The Devils have played 2 overtime games here in a row, losing one to the Islanders and then winning the one in Philadelphia last night. So the toughness of the games continues. And there's a look at Lowry.
Lowry, 5'10", 185 pounds, 24 years old, as you said, originally drafted by the Vancouver Canucks. He only had 2 goals in the first 28 games, but he's had 3 the last 6 games, and he plays primarily on the checking line. Everything's been scrambled around a little bit by Brian Sutter here today because they lost so badly to the Chicago Blackhawks. He usually plays with Mahar on the checking line, checking the other team's big scores.
Rolled to center as Brown fell down. Roberts making sure McLean wasn't going to get to it, shot it back in. This would be an icing call. Where's the whistle? Arm is still up there. The whistle. And the face-off out. Linesmen weren't sure about each other. Buffalo leading Quebec 4-1 in their game. Housley has scored the last goal in that one. There's Thomas Abeling.
Tommy Abeling. The puck came out to Tommy Abeling at the far point last night. He wound up to shoot, and he said he heard something. He looked up, and he heard it was Kirk Muller. Muller standing all by himself in overtime, right in front of the net. He just stopped the shot, wound up again, and made a pass across. It was actually deflected and bounced up and hit Muller in the skate, but he was able to keep it in the zone and tuck in the overtime winner. The booing we heard right there, Philadelphia 2-1 over Montreal being showed on the scoreboard. A real heads-up play last night in the overtime winner.
It really was. Inside, almost. Right after the draw, Shanahan to poke it ahead to someone, couldn't get it there. Good break up by Tommy Abeling again as Hull was racing down. Featherstone back to get it, tied up by Shanahan, got his stick caught in the armpit. Shanahan takes the shot, blocked by Tilley. Play it out. No, Danico holds it in. Brendamore couldn't get it out of the zone. Riondo behind the net, Tilley there with the puck. And Tom Tilley starts it up ice. No goals, couple of assists in Tilley, playing in his 23rd game for the St. Louis Blues. Shanahan couldn't get it by Tilley. Patrick Sundstrom's able to knock it away to center ice. Taken back by Tilley. Shanahan knocked it down. Tommy Abeling cleared it. Sundstrom to McLean. Has to turn. He's got a lot of room. Walks in. Shot. Save. Riondo. Shanahan centered. McLean not quite. Got poked away by Brendamore. Puck still in the zone. Shanahan held it down deep. McLean. Sundstrom. McLean. Tommy Abeling. Shot it in. Shanahan couldn't get it to sit. Shanahan centered. Shot. Save Riondo. Patrick Sundstrom the chance. Shanahan still centered. McLean can't get it cleared out by Adam Oates. What a job by this line. There is no icing. Chris Terreri upset about it. Terreri coming out to play it. The arm was up for icing. Terreri then let it go. Went through the crease, though, and they waved off the icing. Muller to Turgeon. Devils picking the pace up. Turgeon has it poked away to the corner by Lawler. Behind the net to Cavallini. 2:26 to go, second period. Hull. Valashek ties him up. Muller looking into the middle. Stepping in Zezel. Zezel got that one away. Here's Hull. He had a step. He'll go to the bench as they change. Played up to Muller. He'll drop it back to Randy Valashek. Blues get a change completed. Wolanin to Mark Johnson. Johnson sends it in by Riondo. Back to get it, Paul Cavallini. Cavallini off the boards, held in, shot Wolanin, tipped, save Riondo. Mark Johnson, Paul Cavallini, again reversing direction. Lowry and Wolanin collide. Valashek had hit the linesman. In comes McLean. McLean to Zezel, and he missed him. It hit the linesman. A penalty coming up. Delayed whistle on the Devils. Stop made by Terreri. There's a penalty for slashing on Randy Valashek. A power play for the Blues. Valashek couldn't do much about that one. He was in position when it hit the linesman's skates. It bounced away from him.
They're on the ice for the Devils. Here, and have a look right here. The referee, obviously just looking back to get out of the way, chipped it back right to McLean. Caused all kind of confusion that ended in a power play for the St. Louis Blues.
I want to welcome those joining us in New England. Peter Zezel drops it in front. Brind'Amour shot saved by Terreri. Broughton's got it. And Broughton sends it out. Gary Thorne, Peter McNabb at the Meadowlands, where the Devils and Blues are tied at 2-2. Kurt Muller scoring the second Devils goal. Blues had a 2-0 lead. The end of the first period, Mahar and Zezel. John McLean and Muller have scored for the Devils in the second to tie it up. Blues on a power play now. Brind'Amour down low, in, whacked away, goes behind the net. Zezel clears it to the corner. Blues are 0 for 2 on the power play, and they have not had a shot, did not have a shot on their first two power play chances. 1 minute left to go in the period. We'll bring you up to date on all the National Hockey League scores, and Kurt Muller will join Stan Fischler during our second intermission. He'll be all smiles. Brind'Amour back to the point. Nobody was there. Chased down by Riondo.
That's one of the things when a point man like Jeff Brown comes over and he's put on a new power play, sometimes you're going to have confusion back there. I think that the Blues were looking for Brown to be back in the point, and he had moved over a little bit, puck went out of his zone.
24 seconds left in the period. 43 seconds on the power play. Held in by Cavallini. Mahar dropped it to Momesso. Momesso trying to center. Hull's out in front of the net. Devils need it cleared. Do not get it. Brown back over to Cavallini. Back over to Jeff Brown. Cavallini winds up. Just faked that one. They've got Hull and Momesso. Momesso down low. In front. Jamming it up. Cavallini, the shot blocked by Patrick Sundstrom and Driver. And Momesso. Driver's upset and complaining to the referee. But Tisov now got hit by Cavallini. Momesso was right in the crease. That's what started all of this, and then Cavallini and Fetisov ran into each other.
Good action, and again, Patrick Sundstrom dropping to block a shot in a very dangerous slot, and no 5-goal games. Last year in the National Hockey League, I think this is just one more indication of the tighter defensive play around the National Hockey League. Last year, 11 4-goal games, 2 5-goal games. The 5-goal games, one of them against the Devils on New Year's Day. December 31st, Lemieux, and otherwise Joe Nieuwendyk.
You're right. That's an offside right there. The Devils are on the short-handed side of it for 10 more seconds with Randy Valashek in the penalty box. Take a look at it. Patrick Sundstrom, you talk about a quality season underway. Has he ever got one going?
And he just keeps making the great moves, even though he hasn't scored. You see NHL Player of the Week last week. Get a goal and assist in last night's game. But right at the end of the second period, the puck goes back to the Blues in the power play. Right in the slot, man winds up. It's blocked by somebody in front. No one really knows who. It was Patrick Sundstrom again. He really does everything for the Devils.
Quiet, and yet a leader on this team by example, by the way he performs on the ice game after game at the level of consistency that all pro sports players attempt to reach. I mean, that really is the name of the game when you play pro sports, because you play so much. It's to find a high, consistent level of play, and he's been able to do that. Roberts taking his good old time, moseying over to the bench. We have 10 seconds remaining on the penalty to the Devils. Peter Zezel wins the face-off. Blues, let's see if they try to rush this one up to get a shot. Dropped off to Brind'Amour. Good stand-up check by Fetisov, who hung on to Brind'Amour's stick. Hull has to play it back off McLean's stick to Roberts. Roberts had some trouble with that, getting it under control. Back to Brown, and Valashek's back on the ice. Penalty is over. Rangers in Washington. Third period, 1-1. Brown shot. Terreri puts it in the glove and wraps it around the net. And there was no way Terreri was going to make a mistake on that one. Roberts around Mark Johnson. Roberts to the bottom of the circle to Hull. Hull back in front. Momesso Shot blocked by Fetisov. Put the body down on it. McLean clears it out. Momesso back to get it at center ice. Sergio Momesso, 12 goals, 18 assists. If you'd ever seen him play in the minor leagues, you'd never believed he would ever score a goal. Over, Muller. Muller turns on it. Momesso is strictly a muscle man in the minor leagues. I mean, he just played, and he can do it. He's a strong player. But he did little offensively playing in the minors, but he's turned into a good offensive player.
His best season in National Hockey was with Montreal. He was born, lived in Montreal, drafted by Montreal in the second round. His top season was 31 points. He already has 30.
There he is right there missing the puck as Hull tried to drop it back. Turgeon, stick from Momesso. They just separate at center. Mark Johnson gets it. Mark Johnson tried to get it to Turgeon, blocked by Lawler. That tough defensive game of the Blues continues here. Dropped off to Adam Oates by Hull. Oates tried to get it back to Hull. Danico blocked it. Deflected by Turgeon to Mark Johnson. Ahead to Turgeon. Turgeon, Muller. Lawler's right there again. Back to Oates. He flips it across to Momesso. And Sergio Momesso sends it in. Tommy Abilene, Blues changing. Just underway. Third period at the Meadowlands. Game is tied at 2-2. Devils have the last two goals. Maley, the move. The shot. Riondo. And it's knocked away to the corner. Good play by Paul McLean, who followed up on the rebound to drive it to the corner as Dougie Brown was standing there about an inch away from putting that in the net. Wolanin leaves it for Valashek.
A good skating and a nice move by Melee. And it looks like right now the Devils are forcing the play to the Blues, and the Blues look like tend to wait for a break. Wait for the Devils to do something wrong.
Tilly shot that one wide from the line. Played out. Tilly gets it back. Dump and chase game continues. Held on to Wolanin to Brown. Doug Brown, he had a goal last night in the Flyers game. Devils will get there first, so they've got to play it. Broughton knocked it away after Riondo tried to get it out. Doug Brown knocked down in the corner, got the puck. Patrick Sundstrom shot was blocked. Tilly got it. Sundstrom again, centered right through as Broughton was there. Wolanin stepping up to hold it in. Broughton behind the net, Featherstone all over him. No match there for Broughton. Patrick Sundstrom could not hold it in. It got by Valashek. Wolanin will chase it. Blues change.
Gary, this is the best the Devils have skated. I think that goal by Muller at the end of the second period has really given them some life.
Shanahan, shot blocked. Shanahan turns, centered it. Devils are still changing. There's nobody at the point. Driver was just getting on the ice. There's Bruce Driver. Vesey sends it in. Chris Terreri off the dashes. Comes out. Shanahan to McLean. John McLean. Big Mac moved it in. Taken out of the play by Roberts. Cavallini up and by Driver. You're right. The Blues are playing a conservative style right now.
They're getting it out at their own zone and in at the Devils' blue line. They're not making any mistakes. They're really trying anything too creative or fancy right now.
Fetisov comes away with the puck. Ahead. Shanahan. A step. Tried to move it back. Couldn't. Mark Johnson's got it. Johnson hit by Cavallini. Knocked down. Turgeon on Zezel. Moved it away. Zezel steps back in to pick it up. Cavallini did not get that one. Driver back behind the net for Turgeon. Lawler ties him up. Mark Johnson with Cavallini on his back. Paul Cavallini there. Turgeon moves in, but they get it away to McLean. Zezel cleared it out from the corner. It'll have to be played here by Chris Terreri. Over to Driver. 4 minutes, 30 seconds into the third period. Lawler knocked away by Muller to Lowry. Lowry got it into the zone. Fetisov back to get it. Lowry. Fetisov. McLean moved in. McLean looking out in front. Paul McLean to the point. Shot Lawler. Deflected by McLean wide. And it's tipped up by Driver and McLean. High off the glass. Turgeon gets it. Turgeon. Mark Johnson. And the Devils want to change. Flip and chase for New Jersey now. Up to Zezel. Gets it out of the zone. Danico knocked it away to Muller. Muller driven outside the zone. No penalty on it. He went down. Tom Tilly held his arms up like I didn't do that. And apparently agreeing with it. Richard Trottier, the referee. No whistle on it. Back into Hull. Hull's drop pass in front to Oates. Oates the turnaround shot. Save Terreri. Momesso. Sergio Momesso got the shot trailing the play. Good save by Terreri. Aaron Broughton by himself. Roberts plays him. Featherstone plays the puck. And Danico goes back to get it.
And in this game tonight, Johnny Cunniff has gone down to three lines. The line of Oyanen, Huskroff, and Podubny has not played here in the third period. The Devils just going with three lines, forcing the Blues.
Forcing the Blues, yeah, another play. I think that line's only have, what, 4 shifts, maybe 3-4 shifts in tonight's game. Centering pass, Maley. Devils will change it up again. 14-18 to go, third period. 2-2 game. Momesso out to center. Peter was talking before the game. Momesso, you know how they list in the paper when you score a goal, if your name's too long, they abbreviate it. Momesso's is what?
Mum. M-O-M. M-O-M-S.
Not Flowers. Momesso turns on that one and gets it out of the zone. There's your Momesso. Podubny got the stick in on him. No penalty on that one either. They collide. Ooh, Momesso took a run right there at Huscroft. I think he thought Huscroft hit him, and he didn't. And Hull gets knocked down. No penalty on that one. Up comes Ojanen. Jani Ojanen. Wolanin sends it wide. Podubny. Brendamore after him. Behind the net for Ojanen. Knocked away by Cavallini. Jamie Huscroft near side. Huscroft sends it down to Ojanen. Jani Ojanen, the rookie, to the point. Just on the ice. Driver. The shot. Tip. Save. Rebound. Knocked down. Penalty coming up by the Blues. And Cavallini does not like it. Paul Cavallini. He's ready to go with Brendan Shanahan. He's trying to get to him, but McCourt's holding him off.
What Cavallini's trying to do is he's trying to get Huscroft to come to him and get thrown off with him, because he knows that he's going off the ice. And what he's complaining about, he said that Podubny grabbed his foot. The Devils do a good job of getting Huscroft away from the pack.
Cavallini, 52 minutes in penalties on the season now, and let's see how important this one is, giving the Devils a chance to take the lead for the first time. On that holding at 6:34, Devils 0 for 4 on power plays with 6 shots. Driver down to Patrick Sundstrom. Back up to Driver. Driver the shot. In front it. Got through to Riondo. Sundstrom tried to center McLean, who got it. But it was tipped by Featherstone. Tommy Abilene holds it into McLean. Blues drop back. Tommy Abilene shot wide. Off the back of the net. Shanahan. Sundstrom. Sundstrom dug it out. Mahar is there. Devils need to hold it in here if they can. Tommy Abilene did for the moment, but he got knocked up by Dave Lowry against the boards. That freed the puck up. Devils get onside, though. Shanahan. Cross ice. McLean! Sean McLean, second goal of the game! Devils lead 3-2.
And Gary, a case of a player trying to be too smart. Now Lowry was over on the far side, holding Abilene, trying to pull him offside. But when he didn't pull him offside and the Devils brought the puck into the zone, that left an opening right in the middle of the ice where Lowry should have been. And guess who comes into it? You see there's only 3 of the Blue players. Now watch. There's McLean all by himself. Here comes Lowry in from behind. That's where Lowry should have been. He basically outsmarted himself. But what a beautiful pass by Shanahan and Johnny McLean. Well, it was one of the round, and they don't wish he didn't get in front of it.
Yeah, that was a blast. First time tonight, the Devils on top 3-2. 21st goal of the year. John McLean with 2, and the Devils take the 1-goal lead. They are out shooting the Blues 24-19. Now let's see if the Blues can come back. Cavallini tips it out. Assists go to Shanahan and Driver on the power play goal at 7:10. Delayed offside call on the Blues here. Fetisov taking it back. Shanahan's got a couple of assists in tonight's game. McLean's got the 2 goals in tonight's game. And we get the whistle. Mike Ridley goal for Washington has given the Capitals a 2-1 lead over the Rangers in the third period. Remember, the Devils are going after first place tonight, but Philadelphia is leading Montreal 3-1 in their game. Sutters had his 12th in that one for Philadelphia, so they got a 2-goal lead at the Forum. Philadelphia, the Rangers tied for first. The Devils are a point behind the 2 of them. Maley trying to back it in. He got tied up. Good play by Rod Brendamore. Took him out of the play. Broughton going back to get it. Maley out in front, trying to draw a penalty on it. Brown went down after Maley bumped him, but there was no penalty call. Brown gets back up, sends it up against the boards. Good job by Maley. Holds it in. Maley ships it in. Devils now out skating the St. Louis Blues, creating opportunities for the moment.
But Gary, the one thing the Devils will have to watch is if they do pull somebody down or get close to the referee, especially a rookie referee in his first game, doesn't necessarily want a game to be decided by a power play goal. And you know the St. Louis Blue bench is going to be chirping at him and telling, hey, you got to even it up, give us a chance. Anyway, the Devils have to play the game very carefully right now.
Talking about that before the game. First-year referees, can you imagine what it's like for a referee? There you see the Philadelphia score 3-1 over Montreal. A referee coming into this league, first time in a referee these games, no matter how many you've done in the minors. It's tough.
It's just faster than anything you've ever experienced. Games in the minor league, that's the biggest single difference. They pass the puck better and they skate faster.
You just have to be that much more concentrated on what you're doing. Lowry moving around. Back into the face-off. Shanahan, McLean. McLean had it tied up, but Zezel took it away. Zezel dropped it to the corner. Cavallini couldn't get it out. Comes right back to him. Good job by Shanahan on the forecheck. Patrick Sundstrom moved in, couldn't get it. Driver will send it in. Devils clear the zone. Behind the net, Riondo. Vincent Riondo, the goaltender, who had a 2-0 lead at one point, has seen it disappear now to a 3-2 deficit. Ahead to Zezel. Peter Zezel. 3 Devils on him. Patrick Sundstrom tipped it away. Shanahan giving chase. Cavallini stepped in. Ball Cavallini across ice. Drivers there. Devils are offside. Shanahan and McLean ran into each other, and that prevented one of them from getting back to the line.
Johnny McLean, who was the Devils' representative last year at the All-Star game, 20th and 21st game in the goals of the season here tonight. That was given 8 in the last 8 games. I mean, he just is. I think the consistency that he has also started to show. When he first started in the National Hockey League, if there was a word for Johnny McLean, it was streaky. He'd have a good stretch and then a very dry spell. But now, well, the longest stretch so far this season has been 4 games. It has a very long stretch for McLean now.
Muller intercepts. Sent it out in front. Tunnel was there. John McLean with the 2 goals, now up to 41 points on the season. That'll move him into the top 20 scoring in the National Hockey League for the moment, along with Sundstrom on that same line. Momesso behind the net. Randy Valachek, Wolanin, Mahar. Mahar's done it. Blues down by a goal. Back to Momesso. Wolanin still there with him. Wolanin, good play to ride him off the puck, and Muller comes away with it. Muller tried to pass. Tuttle took it away. Tuttle reaching in that time. Steve Tuttle made the nice move, but that will draw the whistle with 10:27 to go here in the third.
And the Blues right now have to change their pattern a little bit. They've got to start to force the play. The Blues have come into, if you look at Tuttle's stats right there, Tuttle's totals, 3, 5, and 8, and he is the right winger on this checking line with Mahar and Lowry, and especially at home. Brian Sutter likes to use that line because he has the last line change. And there was a stretch this season where they played Yzerman, Lemieux, Gretzky, and Savard 4 consecutive games and held those 4 and their linemen to only 1 point. They can do the job.
In behind the net. Brown dumps it out through center. Brendamore. Scoring line out there. Danico tied him up. Back in the middle. Shot. Roberts saved by Carreri. Roberts had the shot. Carreri got the stick down. Made the save. 20th shot for the Blues. 3-2 Devils lead. Into the middle. It is loose. Knocked away by Tommy Abilene. You see Abilene again. Hey, you talk about an acquisition I'm not sure the Devils ever dreamed Tommy Abilene was going to be the quality player that he has turned out to be. Again, it's consistency for him on defense. He goes back, touches this one up.
Well, he and right now Kenny Danico are as solid a defensive pair as you're going to find because Abilene has that good, smooth style. And Danico gives him a little room because he's tough. A lot of players respect that toughness. And Danico is getting something back by Abilene because Abilene is just calming him down a little bit.
Here's Brown bringing it into the zone. Fetisov on him, sends it in front. Went through the crease, nobody there for the Blues to tip it. Adam Oates back to the point. Roberts did hold it in. Picked up by Driver. Bruce Driver gets it out. Patrick Sundstrom not going to reach that one as Brown's back. Devils will change. Fetisov going back to get it. So will the Blues. Fetisov and Driver on the defensive pairing. Here's Shanahan. Sundstrom and McLean back out on the ice. In on Riondo. The bouncing puck dropped off for Cavallini. Cavallini up to Hull. This is where Hull can be explosive this time of the game, where Hull sometimes can take over with that great speed if he's able to get a couple of steps and get it wound up. Shanahan, Roberts. McLean moves in, trying to dig it out, and there's the whistle. Roberts turning on McLean, but there was no whistle. McLean's just trying to free the puck up from underneath him.
Gordy Roberts. Gary, how many years has he played in the National Hockey League? I mean, you know a lot about hockey. I didn't even, not that I should know, but 15 years of pro hockey. He's played 1,100 combined games, World Hockey and NHL games.
Hartford, Minnesota, Philadelphia, and St. Louis, the clubs he's played with. I thought it had probably been about 10. I didn't realize it was that high. McLean In front block, here's Zezel. Zezel finds Fetisov back on defense. Driver got back to help out, too, and that broke up any chance for a rush by the Blues that time. 8:21 remaining in the game. The Devils on top by a goal after trailing 2-0 after the first period. Shanahan, McLean looking for the trick. Shanahan shot. Sundstrom fanned on it. The puck was just bouncing. He couldn't get it. It bounced right over the stick. Zezel ahead to Paul McLean. Poke checked away. Shanahan again to McLean. McLean to Shanahan. What a pass into Sundstrom. Save, rebound. None. Riando's got it. What a pass that was. One-handed.
And this line again, feeding off each other, especially verbally. They really talk to each other on the ice. You can see Shanahan yelling at McLean, "I'm behind you." So McLean just knew if he just stopped it and take the man to the boards, Shanahan was going to get the puck. Right here, nice pass. He's yelling at him, "I'm open." Just leaves it between his legs. Now Shanahan and Sundstrom. You know, you see little things that Sundstrom does all the time, and you have to almost see it a second time to appreciate it. You see how he's going towards the net again? Like Muller's goal, when he was going towards the net, he doesn't stop and look. He just drives towards that net.
Takes somebody with him and also screens at the same time, and then he's also there for the rebound.
Exactly.
In the corner, dug out by Tuttle. Valashek pushed him up on top of the dasher in front of the St. Louis bench, tying Tuttle up. Flipped ahead. Muller, it's onside. Muller alone behind the net with Featherstone. Takes Muller out of the play. Tuttle comes away with the puck. 7:34 to go. Good one here at the Meadowlands. Devils leading by a score of 3-2. Trying to get above that 500 mark. Both teams 500 hockey this season. Both teams tied for 10th in the league. And it'll be sent in by Tilly. Devils at home 8-1. Looking for that 9th home win. And it'll be cleared out by Muller. Waiting Brown. Blues get outside. Dump it back the other way. Momesso. Shot deflected. Wide. Adam Oates got a piece of it. Muller wants some time here for a change. He iced that one. And that will draw a whistle as Robert touches it up. Eklund, Bullard, Sutter, and Poulin have scored for Philadelphia. Remember, they're playing in Montreal. Richer, the only goal for the Canadiens. So the Flyers intending to hang on to a piece of that first place position, or all of it, maybe by the time this is done, to their lonesome. Rangers are still losing to Washington. Cavallini, centered. Got it back. Danico blocked the pass. Oates in the corner. In the middle. There's Howell. Oh, the save! Ferrari! And he may have had a few years of his young life flash in front of his eyes when he saw Brent Howell 6 feet away with nobody near him.
Howell gets the puck, but it just won't lie down for him, so he's not able to get that good hard shot away. But the first forechecks that the Blues have thrown at the Devils all period, they've tried. This is the first time they've had any success. You see the puck just wouldn't sit down. Sort of flutters, and Howell's not able to get it on one of the corners.
For which Terrari will give thanks.
The puck right there, just spinning a bit. Howell can feel Melee coming across. He needed to get it away quickly. He wasn't able for it to wait to settle down.
Looking around, Brendan Shanahan as he takes the face-off and wins it to Driver, beating Adam Oates on the draw. The face-off behind the net. Lost his stick. Tied up. Cavallini. Patrick Sundstrom got the puck, tried to clear it out. Roberts drove it back in. Good play by Roberts. The face-off still without a stick. And he'll let Terrari play it. Terrari got run into from behind, but he's all right. Gets back into the net. In front, Adam Oates dropped it out to the point. Shot there is a screamer over the head of everybody by Jeff Brown. Back to Roberts. Really scrambling are the Devils right now. Patrick Sundstrom intercepts the pass. Who makes the big interception when things are getting a little tight in the zone? Sundstrom, McLean. Shanahan, not quite. Knew he was there. Adam Oates. Oates into the middle of Cavallini to Hull. Hull driver turned around on him. Driver pokes it away. Did a 360 and on the turn reached in to poke it away. The cage loose at the other end.
Bruce Driver, who has one of the longest sticks on the Devils, was able to spin, turn, and still hit that puck off the Hull stick. Hull was trying to dip that shoulder in, get position. It was a right-handed shot. He was trying to pull the puck around Driver. Driver just spun, turned, and quickly poked the puck off it.
This continues to be up there among the leaders, defensemen in scoring. He's 7th. 4 goals, 27 assists.
Good Driver right there. Look down, find that puck, Back to a very good defensive look.
And a guy like Hull. Aaron Broughton comes out with Maley and Brown. Zezel waiting to take the face-off against David Maley. Zezel moves in. McLean and Lowry on the line with him. Lawler and Paul Cavallini back on defense. Lawler gets it. Guerreri behind the net, down to 5:39 left to go. Tommy Abilene. Out to center, Zezel away from Maley. Back to Abilene, sends it in, and Cavallini goes back to get it. Jersey trying to win back-to-back games. Last night with the overtime win. And got the lead here by a score of 3-2. Danico, Abilene lost the stick, goes back to get it. Maley. Brown, they clear it out, and there will be no icing called on this one. Devils now are in one-goal games, 7-7 this season. Blues are 3-2 in one-goal affairs. This is an icing call. Tommy Abilene gets it, stopping the clock with 5:03 left. GM Lou Lamoriello and the Devils on the left. Bob Bellamore, the goaltender coach, in the middle. Strength and conditioning expert of the Devils. You saw on the right there.
Went to the treadmill set at the start of the year. So he's not a real popular man with players.
One of the favorite pastimes of players is running the treadmill.
If you run till exhaustion, I mean, that's the whole thing. You run till you're completely out of breath. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Mamasso holds it in, blocked by Wolanin. Turgeon thought he'd drawn a penalty on that play. Didn't. Turgeon in, fakes it, holds it, shoots it. Brown got a piece of it. And Riando was able to block it. Behind the net, Muller. Turgeon tried to wrap it. And Riando goes down to cover up. Muller got knocked down by Roberts. He's trying to turn in front. He's going after Roberts verbally right now. Roberts drove him into the post as he tried to cut out in front.
Kurt Muller, we talked about it last night, his ability to adapt to the left wing has really helped the New Jersey Devils. He, of course, has been centerman for most of his career. And Shanahan was a right winger when he was drafted most of his career. Now he's on the left side. So their left side of Shanahan and Muller is right up there, the best in hockey. Because these are two outstanding players, both are now well up in the scoring. Shanahan with a couple of assists today. He has 35 points. Muller a goal. He's got 41. Good production from the left side.
Outstanding production. Brought out by Tuttle. Tuttle stood up at center by Valashek, who knocks him down. Shanahan. Shanahan sends it ahead to McLean, looking for the hat trick. Turgeon had that hat trick in the opener against Pittsburgh. They've been few and far between, speaking about scoring. Good pass, hauled down Tuttle. Penalty coming up on the Devils. Tuttle had a step delayed whistle. In front, it is loose. The shot wide of the net by Sergio Momesso. Still a delayed whistle. Now the Devils will control the puck. No, they do not. In front, jam, save, rebound, save. Puck still loose. And finally the whistle. And the Blues don't like it. They thought the puck was still free. You got to control the puck before the whistle's blown. Blues power play. They are down by 1. Now, Randy Valashek is out for the hooking at 16:09 as Tuttle got a step on him. Big chance now for the Blues.
And again, they'll be moving that puck around, trying to find Hull. He'll be standing in the slot. He gets himself open. He doesn't stand down low. That'll be where Zezel will be, or Brendamore. But Hull will be trying to get open for that shot. But the puck will usually be back at the point for Brown and Oates, trying to get the shot on goal or trying to feed the puck to Hull.
But face-off. St. Louis has had only one shot on the previous 3 power play chances. Face-off sends it out. Hull 9 power play goals. Adam Oates 5 power play goals. St. Louis Blues, Zezel. Over and in. Off the glass. Guerreri couldn't stop it. Brendamore trying to tie up Driver. Hull got the puck. Hull back out onto the point to Brown. He did hold it in. Brown playing the high point. Pass intercepted by Fetisov. Adam Oates sent that one right under Fetisov's stick. And Aaron Broughton will send it in. Doug Brown down on the short-handed. Lets Oates go in behind the net. 3:12 left to go in the game. Devils leading 3-2. Blues with the advantage right here on the power play. Zezel tied up by Doug Brown. Brendamore, Driver, Brown. Brown dug it out. Pulled back by Brendamore. Back to the point to Brown. Again, Brown held it in. Sundstrom after him. Goes back down to Brendamore. Rod Brendamore. Falls down with Dougie Brown. Standing over the puck. The Fetisov moves in. The puck's hauled in and a whistle. with the faceoff coming in the Devils' end. 53 seconds on the power play for the Blues.
Good penalty killing by the New Jersey Devils. Rod Brindamore, the #1 draft choice in 1988 for the St. Louis Blues, #9 overall. He joined them last season in the playoffs and had a couple of goals against the Minnesota North Stars in the playoffs. But this is his rookie season. And what he's complaining about right now is a faceoff is going to be outside the zone because he sat on the puck.
That's just what we were talking about. If that's an experienced referee, there'll be very little said about that by Brindamore, who's a rookie himself, but with a rookie referee, he went right after him to challenge the call. But there wasn't any question. Brindamore pulled the puck in underneath it.
You know the players talk about the referee. Who's refereeing? Have you ever refereed a game before? Is this his first game? Whatever. And they know what to say to get under a referee's skin.
You got it. Devils win the faceoff back into the St. Louis end. Down to 42 seconds on the power play. Sundstrom short-handed. McLean save! Riando! Rebound shot wide by Sundstrom. Two short-handed efforts. John McLean almost had the trick. Momesso sends it in. 29 on the power play. Back to Adam Oates. Oates to the point. Jeff Brown rips it wide. Off the back of the net, Tommy Abilene. Abilene up to the point. Held in there, Oates. Oates back over. Oates. Brown gets back in position. Over to Hull. Shot Brown. Tipped wide by Patrick Sundstrom again. Behind the net, Paul McLean. Adam Oates has it. Devils stay back. Side of the net. McLean shot right off the side of the net. McLean. Penalty is over. Full strength. Devils have killed it off. Even up now. Intercepted. Sundstrom cleared it out. McLean. Devils change it. McLean in. Some room. Off the blocker as he went for the wide post. That was headed in.
The Devils had too many men on the ice, and no one thought for 10 seconds they had too many men.
They get away with it. Here's Muller. Sends it up ice. This will be no icing. Cavallini chases it down. Just after the penalty had ended, getting people on and off the ice. Devils with too many, but nobody saw it. Good job. Devils holding it in. Kicked at by Muller. Bert Muller holding it into the St. Louis zone. Wrapped around the boards to Tuttle. 1:07 left to go in the game. Blues behind by a goal. We'll see if Riando heads for the bench. Devils trying to win it here at home. 1 minute to go in the period. Shipped back in by Turgeon. Devils fans waiting. Looking to the bench, the goaltender Vincent Riando to see if they want him off. Blues got to get it into the zone first. Hull lost it to Sundstrom, ahead to McLean. Knocked away by Roberts. Chased down by Cavallini. 40 seconds to go in the game. They've not been able to get the puck up ice to get Riando out of the net. Adam Oates. Oates ships it off the boards for Roberts. Cleared right back in by Shanahan. Taken by Oates. Sundstrom took it away. Shanahan sends it in. As the Blues cannot get through center ice. Gary Roberts. Waiting back, Gordy Roberts, rather, and he clears it up near side. Down to 14 seconds. Intercepted again. Driver. McLean. 9 seconds left. Fans on their feet. Round the boards for Brindamore. Devils hold it in again. Roberts back to get it. The Devils win. The Blues did not get the puck through center ice for 1 minute 7 seconds. And the Devils win 3-2. The players